Welcome to the space for transformational leaders to unleash their magic, see better client results, work lighter, and live source. I think we've done it.
It's been a while since we've been here like this.
It has. So welcome. We are doing a little impromptu Facebook Live, primarily Facebook, I think this is going to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Darla LeDoux, founder of Sourced, author of Shift the Field. Ashlie was joking, I have all my goodies with me. Author of Shift the Field. We're getting ready for our event, Shift the Field. And we thought it would be fun. You know, we've been sharing a new tool called the Magic Map, which walks through how to deliver transformation in the most aligned way and kind of some of the pitfalls we can run into. So we've been talking a lot about that. And we thought, let's not talk about that because we've been talking a lot about that. And if you know about it, you know. And if you don't, I'm sorry, it's about to go into the vault again tomorrow. But we're doing some stuff with that. So I'm sure you can look on this page and find out about that. But we thought we would shift gears a little bit and share behind the scenes of what's going on here at Team Sourced as we gear up for this event, which is happening 1 month from now.
Yeah. Seriously, like 1 month from now, we'll be in it.
Yes.
It's exciting.
So I want to introduce Ashlie Woods. You know, I assume a lot of people know who you are at this point, but why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Ashlie Woods. I am the lead coach here at Team Sourced. And I feel, I don't know why, I just make the assumption. I feel like I know you. I feel like I know you. I feel like you know me. Like if you're here in this group, I guess I would make some assumptions about you, that you're someone who is deeply committed to transformation and to bringing more of your magic into the world in the unique and special ways that you do. So here as a coach at Sourced and a team member, it's like, that's our mission, you know, to support you in unleashing your magic. And that's part of what we do, part of what I do here. So nice to meet you. If I don't know you yet, feel free to comment and say hello. So if we haven't met, I can say hello to you.
Yes. And this is on my Facebook, on Sourced Facebook and group. So
well, look at me making a big assumption. I thought we were in the Sourced. I don't know where we are. How about that?
It doesn't matter. I liked it, right? Okay. Like, I assume you know me. I know you. Like,
at a soul level,
at a soul level. Anyone who's watching this is known at a soul level, 100%.
Yeah,
100%, Ashlie.
Thank you. 100%.
So, with the event being a month out, I was actually just writing a social post about. Or writing, and we'll see where it goes, about kind of the path that led to doing a virtual live event. So if you haven't been there, Shift the Field Live is a 3-day event that we do. We broadcast from my home, but we move everything out of the way. We set up a whole stage. We ordered a brand new banner this year. I'm very excited about. And we have to think about matching our outfits to the stage and all of that. We have a video crew coming in to run the Zoom. And so it's an elevated experience for us as leaders and teachers, but it's also something people can join from around the world. And obviously, you know, my first book is Retreat and Grow Rich. And that option went away when the pandemic started to retreat live. And I'm really, really grateful that we're able to transfer the experiential component to Zoom, because what we're experts at here is the experience of transformation, or what we call the Sourced experience, which is not attached to a location or a place to deliver. So, you know, I just was leading our certification group today, and someone had asked, how is it that the event, Shift the Field Live, she'd been twice. How is it that it feels intimate? I know there's more than 100 people. How is it that it feels intimate? And it really is because we know how to create the experience where you're going within while being witnessed by a community.
I love that you're saying all that, because today, this question came to me in the shower, as all questions do, about like, given that you've led as many retreats as you have and big events in person or otherwise, like it's not your first rodeo in that regard. But I was curious about what has Shift the Field Live feel special or be special to
me. Well, I feel like I kind of want to share from the post that I have percolating, which is, what led me in this direction. I had done the big event, and talk about this on our website, and I lost money. The last big event I did in person, I lost a significant amount of money, and it woke me up like, what happened that led me to this place? And it had me really start to go within, because I could see that I was on what we call an old tired path, right? Which we teach about in our training, which was, I had this ingrained in my head, you have to do a big event to be anyone. And yet I also had this rebellious part that was like, I'm not going to do what I'm told. But I was kind of doing what I was told, but I was also kind of rebelling. And then it just really didn't work out. But the whole thing was based in response to other people, right? Like, this person says I should do this. This person says this, and I'm going to agree with this, and I'm going to disagree with this, but it's still all coming from my mind relating to what other people are telling me to do. So I lost a bunch of money, decided to learn how to actually hear what my soul wanted me to do, rather than being like ping-ponging, responding to all of these external forces. And I spent about 2 years doing that, which led me to 2019, coming into 2020, where I really was now in the habit of doing things differently and pausing and tuning in and hearing my soul. So what makes me excited in particular about this event? This is our board of registrants here. We have some space for people. But what makes me, my camera does this occasionally. What makes me so excited about it is that it really is sourced. It's like, it came through that this was how to do this. And you can feel that. You can feel that this is here for a reason. This event exists because there's a need, and it's a self-expression for me, for us, and there's a need.
Yeah.
And so, we think about the event as the premier event for transformational leaders to upgrade their transformation confidence. We're all about building the market for transformation, making it more normalized, the language and the conversations around it.
Yeah.
And leaders need a place to do that work. Like, I had been in so many different communities of amazing people, but no one's having this conversation about how transformation is different, and how do we actually be bold in our stand around it.
I think that that's one of the things I appreciate most about our approach, admittedly biased or whatever, but I was having a conversation. I was coaching one of our certified source leaders today, who also does some private work with me. And she was tuning in around what she's creating, and she's doing what's kind of a traditional strategy for bringing people into a program in a completely untraditional way that really honors her particular expression and magic. And you could feel the aliveness of it and the edge that she was on as she's bringing it forward, right? But it's like, that is the new paradigm of leadership. there's not someone giving us the answers or telling us how to do it that's going to just work for everybody. But we need leaders today who are deeply soul connected and can tap into source and hear for themselves, and then have the boldness and courage to follow that through. That is the way forward of leadership. Like, they're just any other way won't meet the demands of our current needs and culture at this point. So
yeah. And to say it another way is, like, so many people have like me, like, followed the formulas or taken the advice, and I really think people are doing their best to teach it in a way that it's helpful, like, do A, B, C, D. That's what I did. But people aren't talking about the aliveness of the energy. I mean, more people are now than were, a decade ago, but it really is, leaving out the vital component. This worked for me because it was my idea. It sourced through me. I was personally passionate about it, deeply connected to it, and it was alive.
Yes. So how do you find that for yourself?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's our approach, right? And it's, it's a meta experience. It's like when people step into Shift the Field Live, they're transforming themselves while they learn about transforming their clients. And it's like, it's experiential.
Yeah.
Can
I ask another question?
Sure.
Is there, what specifically feels, given that we're talking about creating really these containers and the aliveness and having them be very sourced, what's feeling alive and sourced about this particular Shift the Field?
It's interesting. So this is behind the scenes. I think we might do this, a few times leading up to the event. So we're 1 month out. And there are aspects that I know for sure. And there are aspects there are a couple aspects I know for sure that I don't quite know how they go together yet.
Like, of the content of what's going to be delivered.
Well, and, we talk a lot about this because there's the content and then there's the energetic experience, right? So the content, a lot of it's set, but then there's the theme that goes into the content that is the energetic experience, or the energy I'm weaving, that doesn't congeal quite 4 weeks out. It's kind of like when our board is full and we know, the goals are there, and I know you know this as a retreat leader, like it kind of kicks in. So what I will say I'm excited about, there's 2 things. Like, ooh, do I share this? One is the Magic Map, which is the free content that we've unleashed leading up to the event that people can engage with. And it is still available till tomorrow. That takes people on this journey of how, like, efficient transformation is delivered, and then kind of the detours. Now, I don't think there's good, bad, right, or wrong. If you detour, and then you learn. But we don't want to waste time in painful detours for ourselves or for our clients. So this idea of the magic map has to do with putting your personal magic in the right place. In other words, expending your divine wisdom where it can do most good. And gosh, I remember way back when I started my business, and my mentor had me read this book called Working with the Law, all about universal law, life-changing, like reading it over and over, life-changing. And one of the laws, gosh, I don't even remember which one it was, but it's, which law was it? There's the story.
I know what you're talking about, and I don't know the name of it. Yeah.
There's the story of Jesus, who said, where he said, don't cast your pearls before swine. And the author, Raymond Hollywell, talks about give your substance where it can do most good. And that hit me like, Ashlie, you always go, oof. Like, it was like, oof, like, give your substance where it can do most good. I became deeply aware that I wasn't doing that I was kind of, giving it willy-nilly, as we say, like, let me help you.
Mm-hmm.
And that is draining. But it's also not effective for anybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other part is there would be times where I know I would hold back my substance because like, are people really ready? Are people ready for what I really have to say? And so this is what's going on in the community of leaders, right? It's either overgiving from a default pattern that we haven't discerned yet, or it's dumbing it down, holding it back because we've been shamed for it in the past. And so the magic map helps people really discern that. But we have a component of our event that's going to be very much helping people see the way they might still be doing that. And I get excited about this. I know you know this too, because I get something from it too. Like, I know I'm going to see something I've never seen about my own. We're calling it the magic gap, right? In order to teach it, I'm going to see my own magic gap. And so I know I'm growing in the process too.
I was having a moment of that yesterday where I realized, or I was kind of reflecting on something that felt like maybe not so effective on my end. And I was like, oh, is this my magic gap? Like, was this me putting my magic in the wrong place? And it was because we are inside of this bringing this forward. And I know exactly how this works. I'm in the energy of it right now. So I'm seeing my own gaps. So where I'm still putting my magic in the wrong spot unknowingly in some way, or we're not holding it as sacred as it is. We're in it behind the scenes.
The second part of that I'm excited about is this idea of potent containers. And, that's really what we're about here at Sourced. And I feel like that theme is really coming forward and coming full circle in this event. Potent containers could be one-on-one support with your clients, but it's often a group. And as the world opens up, and that phrase kind of makes me giggle, but I know I'm sorting out how to de-hermit myself a little bit. And as we're going out in the world again, it looks different, especially for people who are holding this energy like we are. It looks different than it did before. And so there's a whole theme around groups and containers and communities that's coming through as well.
Yeah, I find we're maybe more sensitive to the way things impact our energy, having had a chance to pause and reflect. So more discerning and less, I don't know, I feel like less tolerable is not the word. It's actually been like less willing to compromise, where I recognize my energy is not honored or drained in some way or whatever. So I think that's a really valuable conversation to bring forward.
Yeah. And we have our gift boxes. Tiny. We'll see where I net out here. There's nothing in here yet, but one of the things we do is send a gift box. And it's kind of funny, Ashlie, because when we do things in person, I'm really pretty low fluff, low tech. It's like a room, a flip chart, and energy, and we will have like the most potent experience, and I don't need a whole lot happening.
Yeah.
But these gift boxes have taken on a life of their own. And I learned from Barry Baumgardner, who was actually the event planner of my very first event. But during COVID, I did took a webinar she did, and she talked about the gift boxes, and, they call it swag. And, I'm just really not into swag or like,
itchy,
just junk
stuff. Yeah.
But what I took from it was creating a connected experience when we're all in different places, and having there be an energy about this. Like, I literally pack them myself and embed the energy. And so all of our gifts are making their way to my house right now. I'm so excited.
I love that part, by the way. It's kind of painstaking to there's a lot of boxes. If people could see,
a lot of boxes.
There's a lot of boxes. And, that's one way to spend your day. And yet being able to infuse them and really be present with the name of this soul that's coming into our space and send that gift and that love. I wish people could see our behind the scenes chat about the gifts. Our voting, our talking about, our searching for, our designing or whatever.
Yes.
Kind of fun.
Yes. Yes. So here, this was a part of last year's gift. There's always a few things, but it's a singing bowl, heart chakra, because last year's theme was love anyway. And so we had the heart chakra. And the prior event, we had these magic wands because it was all about magic. We had just launched our magic quiz and we were really diving into what type of magic you hold. So what I know is people have these items on their altars, right? Because this event is that demarcation or line in the sand from one energy to another. And it becomes really, really clear for people. And so having the symbol of that is really what it's about. So I never thought I would be someone who, if I am going to do it, I'm going to do it obsessively. I'm just
This is not your average gift box. I'll say about that. I feel really proud of that. You're not going to get it, look at it, and throw it in the trash, right? It's not that kind of gift box. Yeah.
Yeah. So excited about that. Yeah. And of course, our little board here. That's my show and tell for the day.
Yeah.
So Ashlie, it's interesting since we're behind the scenes. I feel like my role is a little different this year. I'm still our #1 copywriter, so that doesn't really look different. And, there's a method to my magic, right? It's it feels crazy over here. Okay, I'm going to talk about this here or this here because we have all the people who have registered and they can bring friends. And we have the affiliates who have referred people to us that we want to take really good care of. And so there's all of these different things that are happening. And so that's my experience over here, is going between that and then showing up and serving our clients. Mm-hmm. On your end, fun for me, you're our sales director. And or enrollment, probably a better word. We haven't actually made a card or anything. But you're really thinking about who are the people that are going to take these, 20 or so remaining spots. Mm-hmm. So what's 4 weeks out feel like for you?
That's great. First of all, I'm just aware of how being in the process of holding something and offering something and causing something is its own beautiful container for expansion, right? So just like what you said, you're experiencing that and you're in that, and I'm in a somewhat different role as that is. So what it feels like for me is that it's whoever is meant to be with us next month, a month from now, they're making their way. Mm-hmm. They've already, at a soul level, they've already said yes. If their name is on that board, it's the balls are in motion, right? The domino has tipped, life is altering and organizing itself around whatever they said yes to by registering for the event. And for those that aren't there yet, it's life is giving them whatever they need to be ready for the kind of transformation that the event's going to offer. And they may have heard about it. They may be thinking about it. It might be they're working out the dates and the details. They're not quite sure if they can make all the days, or they're going to have to rearrange something. So they're dealing with that. It may be like, oh yeah, that thing, I'm not going to do it until something happens. And then they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be there. Right. So it feels like I can feel them in whatever place they're in, dealing with whatever life, and that life is giving them exactly what they need to come to a place of readiness, because the event's not for everybody. Like, there's plenty of people who are going to hear about it and it's not going to hit their radar in any meaningful way this year or this, and that's fine. And then there are going to be those who it's like kind of keeps knocking, you know, it's like they feel themselves wanting to, but there's something to deal with. And it's like so I feel them out there, kind of energetically swirling and dancing around making their way.
In our certified source leader program, we're in the part about designing group containers, and we're really just starting into the design of the content and the flow of the experience. And as you're describing this, like, I'm feeling them out there. Like, we had a whole session today, people really being able to describe and articulate and feel into how their magic works in a group. How do they experience the energy in a group, the individuals and the collective, and what does that feel like?
Nice.
In their field. So the way you're describing it just made me think of that.
Yeah. That's how it feels in my field.
Yeah. And it's so different than, kind of the world I was brought up in, where it's like, where are the people going to come from? And as opposed to how you described it, which is, I believe, how everything amazing has happened for me, is like, my life gets me ready for the thing, and then the thing shows up, and it's like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Even if I'm scared, even if my mind says I can't afford 3 days off to go to this thing, or whatever our event is, very entry priced, but sometimes it's something that's a high investment, and it's like, oh, I can't afford this, but I know I have to afford it.
Yep.
Because I'm called. And so when we actually hold it that way, it's so much more fun. But we as leaders, we're out in a world that has this conflict energy, right? There's an energy. I mean, think about war happening on the planet. There's a conflict energy in marketing. There's a conflict energy in traditional business. Right? We have to get to, steal market share, or whatever, all the terminology. And it's such a different way to think about it, to be in full trust.
Yeah.
Right. That person's soul knows exactly what they're doing.
I mean, we've all been in like, what am I going to do? Need to make it happen. Like, I've done that. I've focused on retreats or programs from like gotta get somewhere, make it happen. How am I gonna find them, get whatever? And it's like, and that's just not how we roll around here. So if I find myself, if that default kicks in, because I'm a human being, and there's, of course, that is a place of wanting to do a good job or whatever, I just check myself and sink back in. And what I know to be true is, like, the right people always find their way at the right time. And that's not all on me. That's me, you, source, and the collective that's coming together. And it's bigger than us. It's like, and I think about that too. I think about the people who, they don't even know it yet, Darla, but they have a divine appointment with somebody else in that room. It's like someone's going to show up and speak something that's going to change their life, and they didn't even know to want that or expect that.
Yes. You're making me tear up, and I'm thinking about best friends that have met at this event.
Yeah. Yes.
People who reach out, Jazz Lenny has shared this publicly, like people reach out. She shared a lot at the event, and she gets people reaching out regularly, just saying, hey, I just want you to know how my life is different because you shared at that event.
Yeah.
Because these aren't common conversations we're having.
Yeah, it's a really unique. I mean, I think that's something particularly special about the community. If I if I were on the other side of this thing, it's like I would come to this event just to meet people. Like I could easily justify spending 3 days of my life and a couple $100 or whatever it is to be in a room to connect with other people. Like that alone would be reason for me. So obviously I think it's so much more than that that's available, but it really is pretty special, the people that come together and the types of experiences that we curate and the conversations that we're having at this level.
Yeah, agreed. Divine appointment. I feel like I want to say, you know, we decided to do this, to go live behind the scenes and just chat about what is it like leading up to the event, coming from the place of, hey, we want to show up, give people a chance to know. Maybe it helps someone else with their event.
Yeah.
And not coming from the place of like, oh, we have to teach something to have you want to come to our event, you know? because that's that energy, right? That's that energy of like marketing energy.
I'm going to give you this in order to, I don't know. I got nothing in the teaching tank today.
No, absolutely not. We're focused on these people and what they're going to get, right? Yeah. And I think, you know, that's important to bring up and to know when you're a sourced leader is like where your energy is flowing, and to be responsible for that, and to be responsible for having your energy be potent for the things that it is committed to being potent for.
Yeah, that actually matter.
Yeah. Yeah, not holding any space here today.
So speaking of what matters, I feel like, do you want to say anything about outfits for this year?
Right. That was what we decided when we decided we were going to go live. It's like, we can, you know, talk about things like outfits.
I mean, it's kind of fun, right?
Yes. So, okay, we'll frame it in the idea of a container, which is something like having an event, or, you know, we have a group of clients that's doing video shoots with us. Not with us, but we're coordinating it. And that's a container. And when you have a container, you have a, you know, time and space of showing up and the energies. It's like, that's the upgrade, right? And how do you use that as an upgrade? So back when I was doing live events, it was always the upgrade of the wardrobe. And so I've been doing that. You've taken that on,
well,
I think, too.
I think I love the context for that, but I really do think it's like, here's how I hold it: an opportunity to play in, expressing at a different level or degree, or trying on an expression, or stepping into something more fully. And it's like a chance to embody that and be witnessed in that. So it's really powerful. I feel like that's creating some sense of pressure, but I don't want but it's fun. It can be fun.
Well, and whatever that looks like for you, right? Like it might look like, I don't need to dress up. Like, who I am is enough. And it might look like, ooh, I really want to look very tailored.
I definitely don't think it has to mean like fancy or like, I think that I'll be honest, for myself, like part of what I'm energetically in all areas of my life, inviting in more softness. And so for me, that will likely be reflected and it probably won't be very tailored, right? It's probably going to be fluid and soft because I'm working to invite more of that into my life.
Feeling that.
Yeah.
So for me, I think this has been true over time. The upgrades for me have just been allowing support. You know, from personal shoppers to having my colors done and working with a stylist and that kind of thing. So I upgraded my shopping experience this year, and I'm done.
Ooh.
I need a little bit of jewelry, but I'm done.
Okay. I need the full preview offline. I need the That's awesome.
Yeah. So for me, I don't really love shopping, but I do love clothing, and beauty is important to me. And so having it be as painless and supportive and feeling nurturing as possible is my jam.
Mm-hmm. And to have it done a month out where it's like not even a thought, that feels really supportive and yummy too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's not flowy.
Good.
Yes. So if anybody watching wants to, just come see our outfits.
Come on down.
No, because once you're in, you'll be in for 3 days because you won't want to miss it. Really, you'll feel it.
Yeah, beautiful.
Anything else, Ashlie, that's there?
No, I feel like we covered it.
Yeah. What do you think in the next week?
Yep.
What's up for you as it relates to event prep and?
What's up for me in event prep is, what is up? Supporting, primarily what's up is supporting people who are circling out there and thinking about it to make a clear decision about whether they want to step in or not. And doing, I don't know how this, I know this works for you in a similar way, but it's like anytime we're going into something like this, there will be things that show up in my life, personal life or whatever, that are asking to be dealt with in order to create the space for this next expression or for this work to come through. So for sure, pieces of that will be up for me will just be tending to and like putting the integrity in or the pieces in place. And
yeah, I think that's really good. Like for anybody watching who's hosting events, is don't cram your timeline so full that there's no space for a breakdown and breakthrough, because that's what the energy is probably going to ask of you, is like, what is it to be at the next level?
Yeah.
I leave on Friday. I'm going to Minnesota. I have a funeral on Saturday and I'm a speaker at the funeral. And, the grief has been a big theme for me this last year. And so I'm very curious and anticipating how that's going to be, because it feels really tender for me. And I've grieved and not grieved and grieved and avoided grieving. So, and that is, in a way, it feels like, oh, this is not great timing. I'd like to be focused on event prep. And then it's like, that is the event prep.
When we can trust that and relax into that, it makes it so much easier. But it's true. You're going to drink your medicine first.
Yeah. And as leaders, especially at this time in history, it's like grief is, we've got to be real comfortable with grief. So
that's you this week.
I feel like I have a PhD this year.
Whether you wanted it or not. Yeah.
I'll take it. I will receive it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's present. And then loving up our community of leaders. We have 6 amazing breakout leaders that are going to be doing so. Key part of our experience is the breakout. So connecting with them, supporting them is a big part of my next week, as well as some of our leaders to feature them and have them get visible.
Mm-hmm. That's exciting.
Yes. So thank you, Ashlie, for your role, so I can be in my role and we continue to expand what it is to lead this work on the planet.
Yeah, my pleasure. Enjoy.
All right. Well, this was fun. If you are watching the replay, if you like the behind the scenes, let us know if you want us to do another one sometime as event draws near. We'll be doing different things. If you host events, let us know about it. We want to hear. If you're a transformational leader, tell us about your work in the world. We really want to know.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
See you
everyone.
soon.